Hello, everyone. Thank you for making it out here to the stream, homie. For the homies whenever we shoot on YouTube, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, early night to you. We're in part 3 of our little join sesh, but I'm ready to go. Ooh, we got homies in here. Hey, friends. Hey, homies. Alright, let's begin. Last part, we were just working on the fingers, but this time, I'm finally able to make some veins on the palm. I feel if I figure out my vein pattern or the pattern, I feel like veins on the palm is the thing that gives my drawing or each of my drawings their most uniqueness. Because like my technique for the fingers and arm, I feel like is consistent, but when it comes to like the palm, it's like the most so far. It's not as consistent, but that only means that each time I draw veins on the palm, it's what gives it its own uniqueness. I shall, I shall grant this one its uniqueness here and now. As I am still a student of my own art, I'm looking forward to seeing new techniques that I could possibly make consistent. Right now, I'm following no set pattern. I'm just drawing, and every time I draw, my brain feels nice, so I continue and draw more. It's only the start, but I'm liking the direction this drawing is going. You know, whenever I was younger, I always used to use my drawing skill in order to give people unique gifts special just for them. I never thought I would use my. I never do thought I'll be like a independent designer for the products that I post online. Yeah, they would have put more time and energy into practicing the skill if I knew what stage I would use the skill on. But You can't change the past. All you can do is practice in the moment. As long as you know what next actions you should take, then you can move forward instead of having regrets. You don't have too much regrets. Causes unnecessary anxiety. Makes it harder to reach that peace of mind state where you just live in life peacefully. And a save. You know, I read this book called, let's see, Bushido, the Samurai Code. There's an audiobook, a nice one. There's this thing called the rules of propriety. The rules of propriety is like basically, well, in Bushido, the way of like the samurai warrior, the rules of propriety was whenever you find an activity where every time you do it, it enriches your soul. Kind of like whenever you feel, whenever you just got done cleaning your house, it makes you feel good about yourself or basically boosts your self esteem. That's basically what the rules of propriety is. You find an activity where every time you do it, it trains your soul, enriches it little by little, so that over time, when you consistently do that activity, it grows, it shows in your energy. Known as the rules of propriety. I learned about it because like whenever they were trained, because like whenever they talk about training, it was like yeah, a samurai doesn't just train on the battlefield; he trains off the battlefield too. Whenever they clean, whenever they use chopsticks to eat, to train their grip. Just the time it just they see everyday life activity as a way to train their soul, their spirit. If we were to use the rules of propriety on myself, then I feel like the activity that enriches my sense, my strength, is art. I draw art and I feel pretty darn good about myself. Whenever that happens, whenever I just see other art that other people create, gives me like a deeper sense of appreciating it because it's like, dang, I think of the journey. It's like, dang, how long did it take you to do this? This is clearly detailed, my dude. You gotta save. You don't want to lose your progress. You know. In art, in video production, and whenever you're playing a video game. Been into Baldur's Gate 3 as of late. For the homies that play its tabletop version, it's basically Dungeons and Dragons. It's based off of the fifth rule book. I like it a lot. It teaches me skills. It made me aware of skills that I hope and I train to utilize in my day to day life. And you take the time to learn Baldur's Gate 3, then you can always like find some homies that know how to play Dungeons and Dragons or D&D, and then you could just play it in person because you basically already learned all the rules by playing Baldur's Gate 3, or at least that's the way that I see. Introduces you to a whole community of tabletop gamers in real life. Make it take a second to step away from the game and play in reality with the homies that you can make. Hmm. My art style interest myself as a creator, but everybody has their own thing that interests them. Being in a world of people with different interests makes it interesting. Cause cause you go to a table and y'all talk about all the different things that y'all like. Keeps it interesting. Keeps some variety in the world, instead of everything being the same. But we finished what we have to do here today, homie. So appreciate you for making it out here and spending some time with the homie. You feel me? Um, yeah, like this drawing isn't complete, so I'll have to show up once again, as you know. But I appreciate you spending that time with me. For the homies, whenever it reaches y'all on YouTube, hey y'all, I appreciate y'all hanging out and checking out what we doing. Wherever y'all from, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night to y'all. Peace out.